every single time I film, it takes 3 hours time to like.
Hey everyone, I'm Colleen and this shirt was on a hanger too long, so now it sticks out on the sides. You're welcome. I have been putting this video off for weeks. I don't want to make it, and I feel like I don't want to make it because it's admitting that like my live touring is done. I've been performing live and touring for 10 years as Miranda sings, and a few weeks ago I had my final performance as Miranda on stage. Probably not going to be my final performance for the rest of my life, just because performing is what I love to do most, and so I can't imagine never performing again. So after this guy pops out, once I get adjusted and he starts to be more of a functioning human, I might try to go on tour again, but it's never quite going to be the same. So I've been touring for 10 years, and this year I finished off my tour with a big bus tour, and then I performed in Orange, California at Chapman University. It was my final big performance. We filmed that entire show for you guys, so you can see the behind the scenes of everything, and that's coming up in a second. But going through this footage and editing it made me think about how much I've been through to get to this point. It was really emotional and hard for me to get through, so it's only been a few weeks and I already missed being on stage, so this is challenging. So how did this all start? Well, I was a musical theater kid. I loved theater. I did theater in high school. I used to go see theater with my grandpa when I was a little girl. I always knew I wanted to be on the stage. Performing was my favorite thing in the entire world. So when the first Miranda video went viral, I got some emails from people in New York City asking me to come perform there, and this was a dream come true for me. It was kind of the perfect storm because I first got an email from a guy named Jim Caruso who ran an open mic night in New York City. He told me if I was ever in town, I could perform there. And then I got a phone call from Frankie Grande. He said, I want you to come perform with Broadway cast of Mamma Mia. If you need a place to stay, you can stay with me. So I had an invitation to perform on Broadway, and I had a place to stay. I just needed to cover my airfare. I spent every penny that I had, and I took a risk, and I flew to New York City, and I performed every single night in New York City. First, I performed at Birdland Jazz Club, Jim Caruso's cast party.
Miranda, we're thrilled that you're here.
That was the very first place I ever did Miranda Sings live. The next night, I performed with the Broadway cast of Mamma Mia on the Lion King Broadway stage. It was really funny because not many people in the audience knew who I was. This was like 9 or 10 years ago. The audience was just really confused why there was a girl on stage just singing terribly. After that, I didn't want to stop performing, so I started booking myself. I called every comedy club, every cabaret venue, every little theater I could find in America, and asked if I could perform there. And I would go back to LA, work at Disneyland, save up my money, and then pay for my airfare and my hotel to get me somewhere just so that I could be on stage. It was a very hard time for me. I was struggling to pay rent, pay my bills. People were walking out of the theater. They didn't get it. They didn't like it. People stole from me. They would hire me to come perform and then keep all the money for themselves. People took advantage of me. I had people telling me they'd make me a star and then asking for sexual favors in order to make me famous. That's a real thing that happens all the time. Not just in this industry, but all industries. That's why I'm extremely supportive of the Me Too movement. Obviously, I never did anything with anyone, but that's a whole other story that I could make a full video on. Anyway, slowly but surely, people started to kind of pay attention to Miranda Sings, and I was able to book myself kind of everywhere. I loved performing so much, like nothing could have made me stop performing. I have felt the same way about performing live since the first time I performed all the way up until now. I get on stage and I can't believe people are there watching. I can't believe people are clapping. It blows my mind and brings me to tears almost every performance.
I cannot believe it.
I seriously almost started crying because everybody's like,
oh, it's so good.
Thank you so much for supporting me for all these years and letting me do my dream job. I love you guys. And without further ado, here is my final show. What's up everyone, I'm Colleen and today I'm doing my final show. I'm so sad. I've been touring for 10 years. Ever since I created Miranda, I've been doing live shows. It's kind of all I've ever known. But now, I'm having this thing. So can't really tour anymore when you're in your third trimester. They don't let you fly. And then once you have a baby, the baby kind of like needs attention. So you can't really go on tour if I have a little baby. He needs to like eat from my body and stuff. So tour is out of the question. Maybe someday I'll tour again, but for now it's not really going to happen. So I wanted to document my final day on tour, and we were in Orange, California. My family's here. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Forgot
let's go.
that she's having a baby. So, yeah.
So, one of those! I have tea with a passion for love. This guarantee she knits my makeup. She has you. Sure, something silly. Doing my final sound check was so surreal. I tried not to think about it because I didn't want to get emotional, so I tried to just think of it as like any other sound check. Like there's nothing special about it. But I will say it was really nice to have my family there supporting me. They have been with me every step of the way throughout my entire career. So I was super grateful that they were able to be at the sound check to support me. It just made me think about all of the amazing times I've been able to perform with my family in the past. I've performed with Christopher doing a magic show at the Magic Castle. I've performed with Rachel all over the world in onesies. I've performed with Corey all over the world for the last few years. I've even performed with Bailey and Jake when they were tiny, tiny little kids. So to have them all there at the last show was really important to me, and I'm so grateful that they could all make it. But yeah, the final sound check was just really, really surreal.
You spoke to the kids at the final sound check.
What the duck is wrong with her face? Can we get more vocal on stage? Fixing the show.
Done.
I do this every show. Riveting.
Oh, man.
I sit before each show and I change the slides depending on what I want to be different in the show that day.
So tell me about the last time you performed it down here in Orange.
The last time I performed at Chapman University was a very long time ago, and I performed in the cafeteria for like 20 people. So this is a little different. What you just saw was me changing up the show right before the show starts, and I do that pretty much every single show. It keeps it fresh and fun for me, so that's what you guys just saw. But now it's time for me to get ready for my meet and greet. The meet and greets are so special to me. I've done a meet and greet at every show since I started touring. I think the reason I love it so much is because I get to see you guys become friends. So many of you met on the internet, met on Twitter, met on Instagram because you watch my YouTube videos or you just watch YouTube in general, and then you meet in person at my live shows. Nothing makes me happier. So I am devastated that I'm not able to provide you guys with an outlet to meet anymore. And I promise that I will do everything I can to make that happen someday in the future, because I just can't imagine that just being gone forever. Matt, what are we about to do?
We're about to go on the show.
No?
We're about to meet and greet.
Meet and greet.
Here you go, the great
One, two, three. confirmed? I've been watching Colleen for like since I was in the womb. Yeah. So it's very emotional for me. We've been crying since last Saturday.
Same here.
Show.
About.
But it's all good.
Not so bad. So
Are you excited?
I started watching until about
now, so I guess I
I don't
understand.
know 4 years ago.
Yes. Normal. So all through the meet and greet, I was feeling really shaky and really weird and really faint. Now, I have had a really kind of horrible pregnancy, and I will randomly faint, vomit, be in excruciating pain and can't walk. Like, a lot of weird things have been happening throughout my pregnancy. So they called in the paramedic to come check on me.
What are you doing, sir?
Oh, we're gonna check her just check her heart for a little bit. The heart rate's up a little bit.
Okay.
You're beating close to 100 beats per minute, so maybe just take a load off for a little while. Your saturation is good. It means you're getting enough oxygen to your brain and to your body. So that's a good thing. If it gets worse, or if you start to get lightheaded,
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I was totally fine. He said I was fine. I just needed to lay low and sit and drink water before the show. That's kind of hard to do when all your family and friends are around and you just want to hang out with everybody. Say hi to the internet.
Hi, Internet!
I got my first show ever.
Your first show and now the last show. You're perfect! You're perfect!
Making costumes with hot glue backstage. Hold on tight. There you go.
They tried twice.
There you go. Keep going. Hold part like that. There you go. See? Is this
Excited?
Yeah.
What was the first Miranda show you ever went to?
I don't know. I was probably a baby.
Sorry.
Since it was the final show, I really wanted to add a fun little moment with the kids. The kids have always been a really big part of my life and of my touring. I adore my niece and nephews so much. They have performed with me forever. I can remember Bailey being on stage and being like 2 or 3 years old. I remember Jake singing duets with me when he was 2 or 3 years old.
It's been a series of doors in my face, and then suddenly I bumped into you. I've been checking my life, it's on my own place.
So performing in Miranda shows has been a huge part of the kids' life, just like it's been a huge part of my life. So I wanted to add something a little fun and different for them in this show. But we had to rehearse because they're kids, and so we tried to rehearse backstage before the show. Stop, or I'll take them away. Okay, come on. Okay, so I had to go tinkle, so I'm gonna need help. Bailey, they take up Parker to the stage. Come down. Hello. Feel pretty good.
You're welcome.
I look better than you.
You're welcome.
So you're gonna perform the best song ever by the best female performer in the whole world. Probably sung by me, because I'm amazing. That's what I thought. So I'm gonna go.
Bye-bye. She's gone. Yes. I'm not actually going.
Okay, you're right up. Let's play it.
I remember when I was pregnant the third time. It's not that bad. It's not.
Really?
It's my dressing room.
Look at you,
So most
I wonder how long he's left
would be
to set the
like,
baby.
I need space before my show.
Chaos.
But when it's my show and it's a hometown show Can we all be in that one? That's where we are right now. We're all chilling in the small room before the show starts. Okay, it's almost time for the final show. I'm trying not to think about it too much because I'm like nervous, and I know if I think about how it's my last show, I'll cry a lot. So I'm just trying to think like it's just another show, like it's not a big deal, because I don't want to be nervous. So I'm sure after the show I'll maybe be a mess, or once I let it sink in. But right now I'm just gonna try to enjoy my last show. This is so weird, you guys. It's been such a huge part of my life for so long. It's so weird. All right. Showtime. Being on stage that night was really surreal. Anytime I thought about the fact that this might be the last time I'm on stage, I teared up. But the whole time I was up there, I was thinking about every performance that I've done, what I've gone through to get here, all of you and how wonderful and supportive you've been, and meeting you all over the world. I've been able to tour to Australia, London, Ireland, Norway, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Canada, all over America, Germany, New Zealand. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million other places I've been able to tour, but I cannot believe the incredible adventures I've been able to go on just because you guys want to see me live. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm gonna cry. If you had told that little 10-year-old theater dork in her bedroom singing into the mirror that she would get to tour the world performing and doing comedy for people, oh my god, I never would have believed you. Like, you made my dreams come true. Thank you so, so, so much. I will say this, though. A lot of people were talking online about how sad they were that it was my final performance. And a lot of people were acting like I was dying. And I know I'm kind of being dramatic right now, and it kind of seems that way still. I'm still here. I'm still Miranda. I'm still posting YouTube videos. My Netflix special's coming out. My lipstick just came out. I wrote a book this year. I'm going to be writing more books in the future. You still are going to see me all the time, every day, every week. I just can't see you in person for a while I'm growing my little baby boy. All I want to say is thank you. You completely made my dreams come true, and you continue to make my dreams come true. And my little son will thank you too, because, oh no, see, if I talk about my baby, I'm gonna cry. Because when he comes, I get to tell him that his mom got to live out her dreams and do everything she's ever wanted to do because of you guys. And because of you guys, I can teach him, if he works hard enough, he can do anything he wants, and he can have his dreams come true. And that's such a cool lesson that I get to teach him as a mom. So thank you. Sorry, I'm really pregnant. Like, sometimes I cry because I don't want to get out of the shower. So, like, I love you guys. Thank you for everything.
It's definitely going to be trying to show that people who've watched and herself is not going to forget. I need to end this one.
Something has changed within you. Something is not the same.
I think she's still doing Miranda videos, mind you.
Thank you so much for supporting me. It still blows my mind to go into an audience and see people who bought tickets to see me. Why did you do that? I love you. Thank you so
Are they
much.
crying? And I think I blame them. If I was the part, actually, I don't think I would have cried for.
So here it is. It's the end of
Yes, because
Define
I'm like
Gravity.
emotionless. So that's our last bit.
So if you can find me, look to the western sky. Has someone told me that everyone deserves a
Went down the wrong
chance to
hole,
fly? And if I'm flying so low, at least I'm flying free. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is.
to turn my notifications off, but I forgot. Let me just say that now, before you see my notifications, like, just show up in the top of the screen. Which by now you probably are saying. That definitely took me on an emotional roller coaster. Very short, but it definitely was an emotional roller coaster. As I wish her well on when the baby comes, and look forward to seeing if there is going to be more videos in the future. But I'm not too sure. Believe me, children are a handful. Trust me, I know. I've seen people who've had kids, and I got a nephew, so yeah. Sometimes I think he's a mini-me. Anyways, hopefully I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. And maybe another reaction video. Maybe it'll be a try not to laugh. Something else different. Who fucking knows? But see you next time. Bye.